Okay, guys, we're back at it. We got Donald Trump on our first one, talking about how obviously he lifted the sanctions off of Syria, which is, highly questionable because he does need Congress approval to do that, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, Trump is going with the motion. I think he wants to get all these deals locked in, and then all of a sudden you're going to hear about him reconciling with Netanyahu. And Iran can't get nukes or else, and this and that bullshit, right? So he's signing these deals because we, obviously America needs the money now, right? They need to secure the bag because we're going through a lot of shit, man. There's a tariff war with China that Trump apparently doesn't really have a framework for a deal, and there's a whole lot of shit going on, right? So let's get into his opinion about the new Syrian president here. He's treating it like it's a Tinder match. I don't know if this guy realizes that this guy was actually, Al Qaeda. So,
how did you find the Syrian president?
Great. I think very good. Young, attractive guy, tough guy. Strong pass, very strong pass fighter.
Does that worry you at all?
He's got a real shot at pulling it together. I spoke with President Erdogan, who I'm very friendly with him. He feels he's got a shot at doing a good job.
How did you find the Syrian president?
All right, so again, so there were key demands that I guess he demanded from the new president to meet, which will allow the sanctions to be lifted, again, quote unquote. Join Abraham Accords with Israel, expel all foreign terrorists, deport Palestinians, help stop ISIS resurgence, take over ISIS detention centers in northeast Syria. And so these are the stipulations Trump had put in order for him to maintain the removal of the sanctions, which has economically devastated Syria. This same deal was offered to the previous ruler, Bashar al-Assad. And so, essentially, we know what happened there. Bashar al-Assad didn't want anything to do with the United States, and he actually even convened with Russia and China. Remember, Syria was like a Russian colony for the past 10 years, and now this guy took over, and he's a Saudi Arabian colony, essentially meaning that it's now become pro-America, right? So they're going to do whatever the Americans and the Gulf countries want them to do, just as long as, America maintains a dominant position in the Middle East, which Trump tried to secure this week, which a lot of these fucking people crying all over the internet. Who do you think? Like, that's a very strategic location there. A lot of our oil comes from there, a lot of different resources. Do you people want China and Russia to have control of the Middle East? Well, that's just, if you want to be from the pro-American viewpoint, it only makes sense to get that squared away. But, what's interesting about this guy is that he had a $10 million bounty on his head previously. That was removed. He was designated a terrorist by the EU, UK, the US, everybody, right? And this guy, to this day, is persecuting, like, minorities within Syria, right? They're shooting them dead sometimes. Bodies all over the place. And he's allowing this shit to happen, right? And this guy's, he... again, has an army full of extremists who have conformed to Wahhabi Islamic culture, because I don't even consider it part of Islam, the Wahhabi sect, or whatever distortion that they teach in Saudi Arabia, surprisingly, right? They export that ideology, which creates ISIS and all these other clowns all over the Middle East to mainly target and kill Muslims. Right, if we want to be frank here. So we'll see what's going to happen. I don't think any of the sanctions are going to be lifted, guys. I think this is all bullshit. Again, I don't even think that Trump is having a fall down or break out with Netanyahu, so to speak. I think it's all for show. And once Trump gets back to Washington after he signed all these deals, you're gonna see a whole different story here, because that's how they play the game, guys. It's politics. It's all bullshit.